How's it going, everybody? We have a very interesting video for you today because today we're talking the Thunderstrike Raid. Now, if you're confused, don't be worried. That's to be expected, as this is a brand new raid style event that is presumably replacing the Thunderstrike Trials/Scourge, which, as you guys may know, is my favorite game mode, so I'm already a little apprehensive, but I want to get you guys this information. Maybe we can all ponder it together and see if this is something we can actually be excited for. Once we're done talking about the raids, I do want to touch on the Apocalypse Diamond drama, as I think there is a lot to talk about there, and you might be shocked at some of the opinions I have on that topic. Also, if you see some weird edits during this video, just know I'm fighting off a fever, a flu, or COVID, one of the three, and I'm coughing a lot, so I'm probably going to stop it if I have a coughing fit. Storm of the Century, the Thunderstrike Raid, Unenchanted Mace, Asgardian Strength, and now Red Stars. Thunderstrike's electric power surges with the arrival of the Thunderstrike Raid, a new limited-time challenge that combines solo and alliance gameplay. This raid won't work like your typical raids, as there will be no sim. Okay, interesting. And you can't heal using cores. Work with your alliance to conquer the latest challenge. Read on commanders for details forged with Asgard Might. Navigating the Thunderstrike Raid. How to earn up to 7 red stars for Thunderstrike. How to earn Thunderstrike's Awakened Ability materials. That is a super important topic. If we can actually earn his Awakened Ability materials, especially his passive, that's going to be important for this character. I know Scopely probably sees it in their metrics, but nobody is excited for this character. This is a very niche Thor character. I know a lot of you guys do have a high affinity for him, but just know you're in the minority there. It's a very niche character. Right? If this was Rune King Thor, we'd be having a different conversation. And then his kit. Well, he's basically a support character for Blastar, who already has so many hard counters in the game, including the new upcoming New Mutants team, that it's hard to get excited for Thunderstrike and how he elevates Blastar. But with his passive, it definitely does a lot more. So if Thunderstrike's passive awakened is on the line here, that's going to be very interesting, as opposed to selling it for, what, 35 bucks, what they normally do? We'll have to wait and see. For the record, all of my opponents in the last 2 weeks of having him, none of them have used him. I just got him the other day. I built him up. I immediately regretted it. Now, don't get me wrong. Thunderstrike is a character that you're just going to have to build up, because you're going to need him to pair with Annihilus. And that's probably when it's going to be worth it, right? But until then, he is the least exciting legendary character of all time. And I think that their numbers are probably showing that. All right, let's go over the event, though. Event overview. Commanders will test their mettle in the Thunderstrike Raid, a 6-day event where you'll face powerful enemies to earn 2 new currencies. Skyforge runes, earned from individual nodes, and boss Skyforge runes, earned from the optional boss nodes. Each currency powers its own milestone event. So we have the Rolling Thunder milestone event. This is a solo milestone. Earn Thunderstrike Awakened Ability materials and Thunderstrike Red Stars. Love that. Very, very happy for that. Because I did not want my alliance to be the gatekeeper to those sort of power vectors for Thunderstrike. I may not be super excited about this character, but again, I do want to have him build up because I know that when Annihilus comes, he's definitely going to be on the team. Crashing Lightning, Alliance Milestone. Earn vanity items such as commander frames and icons. I love the vanity items. I think the frames and icons are really cool. They put in recently some more frames like the Scarlet Witch that was in the Daemon Global Milestone, as well as there was like a Daredevil one, a Deadpool one. I love those. I think that obviously, as far as vanity items go, skins are always going to be king. So I look forward to them eventually putting something like a skin in one of these type of milestones. But let's look at how the raid works. Raid duration and access. It's going to run for 6 days total. Alliances receive enough raid keys to launch once every 2 days. Once every 2 days. It's a 6-day event, so we're going to run this 3 times. Okay, that's good. My head almost exploded for a second there, trying to like wrap my head around this. I read it as twice every day, but that's like the opposite. Okay, good. If it was twice every day, that'd be really bad, because then you would be kind of held captive by your alliance, and if they can actually clear, so you can run it more than once a day. So once every 2 days is perfect. The raid sim feature will be disabled, and this event is all about hands-on combat. I love that. Raid structure. It features 3 strike teams with 8 lanes per person, 1 for each commander. Individual nodes reward the Skyforge runes, boss nodes reward the boss Skyforge runes, and boss nodes are shared across the alliance. If your team completes a boss node, all members receive the rewards for the alliance. Okay, so this is perfect. If we look here, this is exactly what sort of the Annihilation 2 raid was, where every single person in your alliance has their own lane. Now, obviously, this has to be the case because the Rolling Thunder solo milestone, the Earn Thunderstrike Awakened ability materials. That is going to be a solo endeavor, so they need to make sure that everybody has access to this, right? All right, so the chosen squads deploy Age of Annihilus teams. You'll need your top teams for Chapter 2 and 3 for this high-stakes raid. Here are the squads in the raid lanes. Harbinger, that's like our Vigilante Thunderstrike characters. Conqueror, that's our... not accursed. Fantastic Four Brimstone. Stormbound, that's going to be like our Immortal Weapons / the New Mutants coming. Quasar, Blaster, and Thunderstrike. Well, which ones are they in? Okay, let's go in here. So let's zoom in a little bit. Sorry, it's going to get a little yucky here. But if we go from left to right, the first nodes are unrestricted. You can't really see it, but the yellow here is unrestricted, right here. Then we have Stormbound, which is the newest chapter. That's going to be our Immortal Weapons Plus. Of course, they're going to be sort of featured here as it is their chapter. Harbingers is going to be your Vigilante Thunderstrike. Those nodes are going to be very easy for players. Then we're back to Stormbound. Then we're on to Conqueror, so your Fantastic Four Brimstone type characters. And then we have 2 more Stormbound followed by the final boss. And we have optional bosses along the way. Yeah, I mean, the format is what it is. It's not surprising. It's not terrible, so not worried about it, I guess, is the takeaway there. Choose your difficulty. Alliance launch the raid at default difficulty. Players can scale up individual nodes using the individual raid difficulty selector. Good. So we're going to get more rewards the higher we go. We get to sort of choose our own adventure. But what about the boss nodes? To the Thunderstrike, difficulty for increased Skyforge runes. Thunderstrike nodes require gear tier 19 to 20. Okay, so the Thunderstruck difficulty is the highest difficulty, and that requires you to have gear tier 19 to 20 characters. Why is there a range on this? Wait, why is it 19 to 20? Is that just to tell you, like, hey, it's going to be difficult, you're going to die if you don't have it? Shouldn't it be one or the other? That's interesting. Maybe the Stormbound ones is going to require 19, but the others require gear to 20 since they're older teams. Or, if they're feeling spicy and they want some more drama, reverse that, I guess. The boss nodes remain locked to the default difficulty. What does that mean? Does that mean they're just so easy or they're so hard? Interesting. Okay, I'm curious about what these boss nodes are going to be like. Healing your characters. The enemies are many and determined, so your forces will need patching up. Healing with power cores is disabled. Plan your runs carefully and make every strike count. You can only heal characters using Thunderstrike health packs, which may be distributed at a later date. I'm sure they're going to give us some for free, but this is obviously something that they can sell as well. Health does not regenerate overnight. I wouldn't expect it to. It's a raid after all. Earn powerful rewards. So the Rolling Thunder solo event. Collect the Skyforge runes from individual nodes to earn Thunderstrike Red Stars, his Awakening ability materials, and T3, L4, and L5 ions. Okay. Crashing Lightning, the Alliance event. Earn boss Skyforge runes by defeating boss nodes to unlock Commander frames and icons, and T3 ISO 8 credits. This is going to be the crystals used to actually equip the ISO. Event schedule. The Thunderstrike raid will run in multiple runs, each with escalated rewards. Good. So it's probably going to be, yeah, this is definitely replacing the Scourge / Trial, right? It's probably going to run 3 times during Chapter 3. I'm fine with that. Prepare for the Thunderstrike raid. Rally your alliance, build up your forces, and seize this opportunity to elevate Thunderstrike to his ultimate form. The storm arrives on December 2nd at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So, Thunderstrike's ultimate form, like it or not, is his Awakened passive. Without that, he has no ultimate form. He is not an ultimate form. He is a lame duck legendary, and he's trash. So, I really, really hope that the Thunderstrike Awakened passive is in here. That's going to be incredibly important to the success of this event. But what do you guys think? I'm a little apprehensive as, I mean, if we go into the live game, you'll see I don't even have the Immortal Weapon characters unlocked yet. So that Stormbound tag is going to be, well, it's going to be something for me. Let's go over there for a second. We'll go back to this Apocalypse stuff so we can talk about it. But as far as Stormbound goes, I didn't even know that was a tag in the game yet. It's not. It's literally not a tag in the game yet. I'm assuming that's our Immortal Weapons characters. I'm assuming that is our... Yeah, so Chapter 1 Harbinger is still here. Oh, Fantastic Four Harbinger too? Interesting. And Quasar's on here, but not Blastar. Okay. Okay, that makes a lot more sense now. All right. Yeah. Let's check out Conqueror. If it spelt it right. Oh, my God. I'm a little apprehensive about what the Stormbound tag is going to be like. Yeah, here's our Blaster. As far as, like, the Immortal Weapons, I literally don't have them unlocked. I'm slowly coring them, which is, like, the worst practice you could ever do. You should definitely wait until you, there's an event to core, and you should not do the first two characters. You should only wait and core the third character. I will be doing that now that I have this information for sure. But this is very, very interesting. I'm curious to know what you guys think about this news coming down the pike. Are you going to be preparing for this game mode? Are you excited for this game mode? How will you and your alliance handle this? I guess as an alliance, it doesn't really matter because the individual nodes give the most rewards. And because everybody has their own lane, and because we can only launch it once every 2 days, this is still sort of a solo adventure, but in the interface of an alliance event, which is good. So it's probably going to make us like help each other learn the nodes and really succeed in that case. There's no game mods here, to my understanding. There's no scourges or anything like that to equip, so it's pretty straightforward. I hope it's not boring straightforward. There's a way to do this where it could be interesting. You make it sort of like the old Vigilante Pocket Dimension nodes, right? Of course, this is going to have energy attached to it, so that could be concerning, because if we need to back out because something bad happened, that's going to hurt. And because we can't heal our characters, we got to be very careful that when we retreat, if we want to retreat because we didn't make enough progress, we don't hit the leave combat as is button, right? So I'm pretty excited about this, I guess. A little apprehensive, but that's the way anything goes when it comes to Marvel Strike Force. I feel the same way about the null boss battle, but I'm very optimistic about that one after having tested it. More on that maybe tomorrow. All right, let's talk about Apocalypse. More importantly, the Feast of Power event drama, starting with the fact that this is, I guess, technically a American Thanksgiving celebration event, because gold and turkeys are part of the event input. It's also our first look at premium events. If we go over to the more recent Diamonds blog, one of the 3 main ways to earn diamonds, I know it's cut off there, sorry about that, is going to be through premium events. So I don't know about you guys, when I saw premium events, I thought like the burst and dash events and the Road to Blue Marvel, where we do get a bunch of stuff, and then it kind of finishes off with 4 milestones that we have to pay for, and it gets us like some pretty decent stuff, right? Now, if I go over to the Feast of Apocalypse, we actually get 1 thing for free, and the rest you have to pay for. So 19 out of 20 of them you have to spend money for. Now, that Road to Blue Marvel, for those 4 offers, it's going to cost me $40 total. Well, let's do some quick math here. It's times 5, so that's $200 for this, right? No, we're looking at anywhere between $3,000 to $6,000, which is a crazy range, but an even crazier number. Like, it is a stupid number to put on anything in this game. And we'll talk about the stuff they put it on, but an absolute stupid number, right? Now, the reason there's such a crazy range on it is because if you do everything through Ultra Cores, you can get it for $3,000. If you don't use Ultra Cores, the top end is going to be $6,000. Now, why would they have such a crazy differential on it? Well, Ultra Cores you buy through website. So iOS and Android don't have their grubby little mitts on that. So it cuts out that middleman altogether, right? They're not a part of the scam. Make your own scam, guys. Now let's talk about the actual things that you can get for that money. A 5 Diamond Apocalypse, a great character, old stat character. So these stats kind of just bring him back into what other people are at. But do keep in mind, the stat increases from these diamonds. It doesn't scale off your gear, your ISO, or a bunch of other stuff, right? So when we're talking about a 100% jump from 3 diamonds to 5 diamonds, it's not going to make my Apocalypse go from 1.3 million to 2.6 million. That's not the way it works. He's not going to have twice as much health, twice as much damage. Some people think that. That's not the case at all. At all, okay? Now let's talk about Apocalypse as a character. A great character, but sort of his main power, his main gimmick, if you will, is that Power Punch. And that hits for 60% of the enemy character's max health, which doesn't scale off stats. Now, a lot of the other stuff he does will scale off the stats. That's going to be great. He's a great character, so cool, right? But definitely not worth $3,000. Now, we have the new orbs, the Radiant Diamond Orbs, which can drop between a 1 and 5 diamond character. There's a little bit of drama around these orbs altogether, and that's because of the drop rates. So if we go over to the Radiant Diamond Orbs, and we head on over to the drop rates, we'll see that between a 1 and 3 diamond, you have an 87.5% chance of getting 1 to 3 diamonds. Anybody spending $3,000 on this game has their entire roster at 3 diamonds already. Don't get it twisted, okay? Except Professor X, if they didn't play in the game at that time. All right, so not great odds. Now, there is a 10% chance for 4 diamonds, a 2.5% chance for 5 diamonds, and they're all good characters in here, is my understanding. That is my understanding. They're all good characters. Let's see. Yeah, they're all like the newer characters, the rework characters that are new. Like, that's cool, right? I guess Scopely doesn't want these Krakens to max out their rosters to 5 diamonds as quickly as they did to 3 diamonds. They want it to be a longer life span on the system, which I get, because that's what we had for Red Stars, right? And truth be told, the difference between a 5 red star character and a 7 red star character is going to feel pretty similar to the difference between a 3 diamond character and a 5 diamond character. A little bit more heavy handed, but not to a crazy degree. But there's your diamonds, right? And then we have golden training materials and level 4 and level 5 purple ions. Again, anybody spending $3,000 doesn't need this stuff, especially like they just buy it from other sources. They get it from other things that they buy in the game. So this is just not really real for them. The 4 diamond apocalypse goes away when you get the 5 diamond apocalypse, so it's not really a factor. These diamonds on these characters, once again, they already have these characters figured out, and then the shards on these characters, like, who are we kidding? They obviously have those characters maxed out if they're benefiting from those diamonds. So people spending $3,000 on this, it's not worth the value, right? But as I always say, and a lot of you dislike it when I say this, but it's just the truth, money is relative. Somebody that has, $6 million in the bank account looks at $3,000 and just be like, oh, whatever, just give it to me. Me, I'm not telling you how much money I have in my bank account, but just leave it to say, I would definitely not ever do this. I would definitely not be comfortable doing that, right? Essentially, because you put it in game and you put it on the blog, you made this big deal about it, right? You've essentially like kidnapped a bunch of your players, brought them to a hangar so that they could watch somebody else buy a helicopter. And we're all sitting here like, bro, I don't need to see this. Just put this on the website in some sort of offer. And I definitely think they could have and should have done that. It should have probably been one of these like step-up offers where, I don't know, like each thing could have been like, I don't know if they have a price limit they could do on this, or if they put the price limit in it just looks bad so people will not engage with it. They could have done like 30 of these for $100 I guess. But again, maybe people would have seen $100 and seen 30 times and like, fuck that. I'm not doing that. But it's not an event. Like, this is just a straight up offer, which is fine. Do your offers. I don't care. But maybe don't package it as a Thanksgiving event. Maybe don't put it in the game in the like events milestone tab. Kind of a little slap in the face. But what about people like me? And maybe people like you where we do spend money in the game and we're going to spend some money. So maybe we're going to get some of this stuff just like by accident, right? So if I go over to the store, what kind of stuff are they attaching these turkeys to? Well, they're attaching to gold. So if you need gold and training materials, you're going to get a little bit here and there. T4s, which I think a lot of people at the end game probably aren't really crying for T4s at this point. And then regular purple ISO stuff, which is like, fucking miss me with this shit. And then we also have the Lady Bullseye burst events, which if you need character shards for her, I guess this is cool, right? Let's go for, I don't have Lady Bullseye unlocked. If I wanted her unlocked and I were to spend this is Canadian dollars, so let's just say American, $20, and I did it via Ultra Cores, I would get 4 turkeys plus 200, so this is going to be 400 points total. Well, that would land me all the way to milestone 5. I would get 3 of these orbs. I would get some trading orbs. I'd get a mega gold orb. I'd get 25 of the brimstone character shards. That's something that I could get on accident, right? If they attach this to like a strike pass or something, it's something that I would actually stumble into, which I guess would be slightly more interesting because then you're hitting your light spenders as well. But unless you're buying very specific offers, you're just not engaged in this. Like there's a very real chance. Currently, there's a 100% chance that I will not engage with this event whatsoever. And at the end of the day, that's what the main message here needs to be, guys. I know a lot of you are frustrated and angry because of this event. Don't let it bother you. This is not for you or me. Them putting it in front of you, it is disrespectful, but it's also just the way things are, I guess. Like it's stupid and it might be asinine to say, but just ignore this shit. Now let me talk to the Krakens for a second, because I know some of you watch. And I know there's been a lot of communications lately about the price on things and the benefit it gives you for the money that you spend in game. If you buy into this offer, this event, you have no legs to stand on when you complain about pricing anymore, especially when you're doing that thing you're doing, right? If you're going to drop the money you're going to drop to finish this event, whether it be $3,000 or otherwise, you can't complain about the pricing anymore on this stuff. The reality is, if people don't go in on this offer, we won't see this sort of crazy event again. Because if they had put 5 Diamond Apocalypse up for like $100, I might have grabbed it. But what they're banking on here is that it would take 30 whales like me spending $100 to make up for one Kraken to buy all this stuff. And then obviously you're getting all your diamond orbs and you're getting a bigger advantage, and maybe that feels better for you. So they're trying to make the Krakens feel really good, cutting out the rest of the community, but making us all watch. And that's why it's really stupid and it feels bad. But it's also a video game. And you do not have to engage with this whatsoever. You do not have to let this affect your mental whatsoever. I'm not even looking at this at all. This is not worth your time to get frustrated over. It is what it is. And hopefully we're not going to see it again. Because once again, if you're complaining about pricing and you buy in on this, you're your own worst enemy. This is a test. We are currently, right now, as a community, watching a negotiation between the big spenders and the Krakens. And Scopely just slid over the first offer. Are the Krakens going to take it and sign it right away? Or are they going to do a counter offer? You never take the first offer. Anyway, I always say this event is absolutely caca poo poo stupid doo doo head, and I won't be taking part in it, and none of you should as well. There's definitely better ways to sell things to make people more excited about it. These diamond orbs, they have very low chances on it. They should probably be attached one. If you really wanted to do a like, hey, the new diamonds are out, you probably should have had a widespread offer for this. Like if we just refresh this, you probably could have attached one diamond to a bunch of different things in the store. You could have attached one of these diamonds to the strike pass, one of them to the battle pass. You could have attached one of these diamond orbs to absolutely everything in here, and people would have at least bought a couple to see what it's all about and to like test their luck with it. But instead you went whole hog on the greed, which is crazy, but also very, par for the course. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think about the Thunderstrike Raids, which is obviously way more cool than this conversation we just had. And let me know what you think about my thoughts on this apocalypse. Garbage. All right, bye, guys.